Welcome to Autism Tips and Tools, where we highlight the best practical guidance from previous episodes of Autism Knows No Borders. Whether you're a self-advocate, a family member, or a service provider, there's something here for you. I'm Rachel Harmon, a professional in the field of autism services, outreach, and advocacy, and the following clip is from my conversation with autistic self-advocate Hattie-Angelys Fox. Angelys is a certified teacher, a Board Certified Behavior Analyst, and the mother of 2 neurodivergent children. Here's Angelys talking about the different types of community engagement and social learning that can come out of homeschooling.
There's a lot of communities, right? There's 1,000 paths for 1,000 needs. We all do all of our things for so many different reasons. There are religious homeschooling groups. There are people who homeschool because they strongly disagree with the regulations of the local systems. There are people who homeschool because it's always what's been done for them. There's all the reasons. And in this age of social media, just like we're on 2 different continents right now, you can connect with people with like values and like ideas. And here on Long Island, we have a very dense, very rich homeschool community. We work with our local business owners. So we have classes during the day. As I said, archery. The archery range opens up 1 hour early for us 3 times a week. There are 3 different homeschool classes. And we're actually paying a discount rate because that's a time where that building is still open and it's still up. They physically own the building. They're paying the rent. It's operational. It's a small family-run business. So for them, it's have lunch a little earlier. And they're going to make a class worth of kids. We're paying about $20 less because we're able to use their facility during a time that's low demand. We all, just like in other spaces, the kids tend to form their own more insular groups. So we tend to be closer to certain families than others. But every Thursday, the local state park, there's a homeschool meetup. And when I say meetup, like the kids are playing together for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. They might go for a hike, and the handful that are Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts are like, oh, this is how you do this thing, or this is how you do that thing. Or we might ask them to teach like the littles. Would you want to teach like about leaving no trace or like how we would protect the wilderness? We might ask someone who is super passionate about plants to help us identify poison ivy as it's starting to wake up. So not only are they interacting with each other, but they are actively teaching each other. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's the oldest kid. The most knowledgeable kid about poison ivy might be 7. And that high schooler is like, wait. Is this one poison ivy or is that one? Which one don't I want to touch? And like, so they're learning to learn from people who know.
Yeah.
We have the blessing of being able to go places at times that other people don't go. So there's a local park. When I say local, to me, it's about a block away. We have a botanical garden in that park. And my town head horticulturist is almost always at that botanical garden. My children befriended her 3 years ago. We now help take care of it. And last year we grew over 800 pounds of food with the help of the community and at the direction of our botanist or our horticulturist. And that was donated to people in need.
Oh, I love that.
And my children, have been part of those. They planted the peas and they helped take care of those tomatoes. And we're pulling down that. And because their grandfather actually has volunteered at the food pantry where it goes since before they were both born, my family is entrusted to be allowed to carry things from the garden and bring them over to the food pantry. It's not something the pantry usually allows because they want to make sure that the person bringing in fresh produce hasn't harmed it in any way. They don't want the community that's going to receive it, but they know who we are because they know the grandfather and they know that we're working with the horticulturist who's growing for them. And so my children are able to step into an important gap. Sometimes there's so much. We just load it up in my minivan and then we go see Miss Yvette and we drop it off and we're putting it away as well. So they're seeing the roles that they would play in community. And I think that is a really, really beneficial lesson, but they're also interacting with the woman who runs the local food pantry. And they sometimes go there and they help organize it. And so they're interacting with the impoverished among us who are in need of being given the support so that they can have successful lives. We've organized the clothing room so that people can go in and find beautiful things to wear, to feel good about themselves and to feel clean and maybe even apply for a job. They've helped select toys to give during holidays and times of giving. They've made cake sheets, and they've done that with a local Girl Scout troop. My daughter's friends who are dancers did soda cakes. I don't know if you know this, but apparently in America, there are certain sodas that when you mix them with a box of cake mix, like that's all you need. It's all the wet ingredients. It will actually make the cake. So we
Okay.
would, yeah, it's not my food tip, but you know what? So we would buy the aluminum baking pans and a box of cake mix and soda and candles and icing, and then wrap the whole thing. And we would give them to the food pantry so that if someone's birthday had come up, they could pull these sheets and say, here, have a birthday cake then. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to do all sorts of fun stuff. And it's constant community.
Thanks for tuning in to Autism Knows No Borders. Would you like to hear about why Angelys decided to homeschool her children? Follow the link in the show notes for the full conversation. And be sure to subscribe for more stories from people connected to autism, inspiring change and building community. Let's work together to transform how the world relates to autism. Thanks for listening. Take care.